afternoon and welcome to Airports Live TV with me, Adam and James. We're live again from Dublin International on this relatively mild Monday lunchtime. Hope you've all had a fantastic weekend. Apologies for not being with you yesterday. I really wasn't well. We're feeling a bit better now. The chest still isn't great, but we're back in action. We're currently located on Old Airport Road in Dublin, just at the back of the terminal and on runway 28. We will get a lot of the departures as well from this runway. We'll be able to pick them up going out on that north runway, the newest runway here at Dublin. We've got the Qatar here, we've got the Emirates here, we've got a few A330s as well. Here we go, the first arrival of today's live. We'll get flight radar on shortly as well. How are we doing, Rory? Don't worry about the results. The results were as expected. We got the first arrival of today, this Ryanair Boeing 737. That retro liveried Aer Lingus A320 that you all love dearly. How are we doing, Evelyn? Or Eve? I know you don't like it when we call you Evelyn. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better. Yesterday I just literally didn't have the strength to come live. I got ready, I actually drove to the airport. I just didn't have the strength within me to do the live. Eve, Rory, you both know I will battle through anything to bring alive, so you know how bad I was yesterday. How are we doing, Laura Coyle? How are we doing, Sir Spotter? Sir Spotter, you asked the other day, and this isn't a hint or anything, but you asked me the other day about memberships. We have now got them available here at Airports Live TV. YouTube stuck their word, they got it through rapid for us. Why has he moved that next to me? I might have to move locations in a minute because we'll get demonetized and we can end up with copyright strikes because of that that's just been put next to me. We shall see if I get a warning.
Airport contact 1231, so the descent out of distress range for your flight, being at about 2,000 feet approaching brake for zone entry.
At about 2,000.
How we doing, Bruce? We do have some new content to talk about later on in today's live as well. We're going to be bringing you a weekly special full of the latest travel deals, the best travel deals we can find, but we need your help. We need you guys giving us suggestions of places that you want us to find these deals in, and we're going to be doing a weekly show. I think it's going to be a Thursday evening. It will be a live show as well, so you'll be able to interact during it. See that Qatar being loaded there. We've got good news. Adam Cafe say they want to bring back all the pre-pandemic routes and operations by 2024. Listen, we spoke about this numerous times here at Airports Live TV. It is desperately needed here at Dublin. We need those long haul routes back. How are we doing, Michael Nolan? Welcome, buddy. We desperately need those long haul routes back. You've got that 787 Dreamliner just getting loaded, ready for its departure over to Doha. As I say, we do have the Emirates here. We've got a couple of 330s here. The apron does look mighty quiet here though. We're back to normal business on a Monday. Not long now until we head back over to sunny Spain. Looking forward to that. These last few weeks with this ridiculous weather, we've literally been battered by rain for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Made streaming extremely difficult. Looking forward to being able to spend the summer bringing almost a guaranteed content. There you go, she's up and away. See, the problem is when we take a day off or 2 days off in a week, we lose momentum, we lose a lot of our viewers. It's going to be a long grind now to get our viewers back where they should be. How are we doing, Becky Doyle? I left shortly after last time, so I'm not sure if you answered already, but what airline do you think will start new service to Dublin next, as in first time not return off? I don't know, like the obvious one would be JetBlue. They've gone to Belfast. It's the obvious one to try and bring a budget transatlantic route in. Will it happen, or will they consider Belfast to be too close? I don't know. I think that would be the obvious one. It was on that old style Aer Lingus in 2018. What, the retro Rory? I'm mixed up and down. How's you? I'm getting there, Becky. I'm getting there. I'm not feeling the best still, but we're getting there. Here we've got VY8578 coming in from Paris. This A321 operated by Vueling.
961, 6 units from 009, Pascal, 6 back in 1 minute. 199, copy tank, stand by. 443 Romeo, good afternoon, identified for batteries, battery 3 Lima to San Juan. Hold short link 4, please. Flight on driver 2, hold short link 4, copy, thank you. November descending ACO, speed out 301. Straight in. 250 up. 2 Kilo X-ray 71210.
Not sure what's happening on Old Airport Road. The traffic is mental since I arrived. It was alright when I got here, but it has been shocking. It's almost at a standstill. Yeah, I've not been on the retro, Rory. But as you know, I don't travel Aer Lingus very often.
7G to them, vacated right 60 out, contact line 121
Here we go, we've got this Boeing 767 on its way in from Atlanta, operated by Delta DL176. Departed 6 hours 48 minutes ago. Not too bad a flight time today. nice to see one of the bigger aircraft coming in to land here. We don't normally get the landings, the arrivals for these long-haul transatlantic routes at Airports Live TV.
Channel 5, Lima November, descend flight level 200, 200. Channel 204.
How we doing, Paul? Welcome, bro. How we doing, Carl? Yeah, message me on TikTok, Becky. Here we go, this Boeing 767 DL176 coming in from Atlanta. Welcome to everybody who is joining us on this mild Monday lunchtime here from Dublin International. We're Airports Live TV. I'm Adam James. We bring you no less than 25 streams each and every month with live aviation action, a bit of banter, a bit of chat and a great community. That's what we're all about here. The community comes first. You guys interacting in the chat is what makes us so successful and makes us such a great community. Is it windy out there? Not really. There's some light breeze, but nothing of any note. How are we doing, Mark? I was on the mound yesterday evening, Adam. No way, Carl. Next arrival, FR9 445 coming in from Turin, departed 2 hours 15 minutes ago. This Ryanair Boeing 737. We will start picking it up now.
266 today, taxi November, hold at Neptune. Right there, November, hold at Neptune, channel 26.
There she is, down safely from Turin. Next arrival is another Boeing 737, this time operated by KLM, coming in from Amsterdam. We'll pick that up shortly. How is Harold today? Join us from Germany again. Welcome. We will pick that KLM up in a second. Plenty of cargo going on to this Dreamliner in front of us. That beautiful 787. And here is that 737 coming in from the Dam, operated by KLM. How's Liz? How's Canada today?
It was 3, hold it was 3, F43 on the airline, please stand to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1009. 5,000 feet,
There's that Boeing 767. The Delta has just arrived from Atlanta. Oh, there was that 767. There she is. Yeah, Carl, I'm not sure what's happened. There's roadworks down there, I think, but when I arrived, road was running smoothly. Now it's literally at a standstill. Once again, don't forget, if it is your first time watching, you haven't heard, we are giving away that once in a lifetime Emirates A380 experience. Come and join us over in Dubai for 4 nights in a 5-star luxury hotel, 2 luxury excursions, connecting flights from any UK airport or indeed Dublin, and those return seats on board the Emirates A380, travelling in business class. All you have to do is click on our YouTube channel, click on the live section, and rewatch any of our lives since the 1st of March, and comment and tell us how many planes arrived or departed during the first 15 minutes. It is as simple as that. If you're under 18 and you win, you will have to have your +1 as a parent or guardian. All correct entries go into the draw the last Saturday of September, which will be taking place live on stream, and then we travel in November. A330 being pushed back now as well.
Hello, 192 uniform IK, taxi with 2 hold short on 16. Degree 12 knots, from which 28 left 3 knots.
Delta now on stand. Got the Aegean on pushback as well here. I've said it before, I do like that Aegean livery. Canada is mild today, +6. That feels like summer here. I bet it does. You've been in double-digit negative for the last couple of weeks or so. Say it feels mighty warm. It feels a lot warmer here today. The car said it was about 15 degrees. I think it's probably about 10 or 12, but it feels massive improvement today. There she is, down safely. It's a Dublin that came in from Paris, the Amsterdam flight just behind it there. And we've got the Aegean. No, we haven't. We've got the not sure what that is, to be honest. Looks like a Euro wings, possibly. How are we doing, Steve?
60 down to Welling, that's to my right of 10 out of 86284 to 2877. Okay. Thank you, everyone. What's your time November 680? Hello, November 10.
I don't know why that speaker's been dumped right next to me. We've got this Aer Lingus Airbus A330 on taxi with those odd engine cowlings. They're not the right engine cowlings. I don't like them at all. I do like the A330. As we said before, it would be nice to see some sort of marquee aircraft on the Aer Lingus fleet. Possibly it'll come in the future. We wait and see.
You've got a Aer Lingus 330 on box from your position, and behind them, Link 343, Development 3, November 2, line of November 2, about line November 2, lining up 28 driving ways, extends out through the next one. Traffic ahead of you is moving, you can continue to stand through and fight them.
We've got this Air Baltic. Another one of the nice, unique looking liveries here. There she is, down safely.
Thank you.
Sorry guys, the arm on my tripod was driving me mad.
So the company that take the OBT and focus? Yeah, we're trying, but if you leave it, go on a lap to suspend your flight plan before you're airborne. Yeah, Roger.
How are we doing, Ken? From Crawley, that Aer Lingus that landed a short time ago was the first A320 that I flew on from Heathrow to Shannon back in the 90s. And no way, Ken. Hopefully it's bringing back some happy memories. Hopefully you had a great flight on the 320 the first time you flew it back all those years ago, 20 odd years ago. Why do some aircrafts have weird liveries that look unfinished? Usually weird engine looks, or a mix of several liveries. I'm not sure, sir, spotter. An A350 would be nice in the new, I agree, in the new Aer Lingus Aer Lingus livery. I've got a feeling even if they brought a 350 in, they would put it in this old livery, which in my opinion is a shame. In a lot of people's opinion would be a great thing.
Charles 5, you November 8, you approach your 28 left, number 2 in 200 degrees, 10. Thank you, man, ground, so continue to run up for later, right? I'm the ground, you're very rich, so put your
How was everybody's weekend? I do miss you guys when I don't get to chat to you for a day. Obviously we didn't do a live yesterday due to me being desperately unwell. The pain is a lot better today, I will admit that. It just doesn't feel the same when I'm not interacting with you guys for the day.
Minimum speed of max of 180, not 217 Island approach, make sure it's left to back to traffic. And 180 is max of 2025
How are we doing? João Lopez. I've just got a feeling they would put it in the old livery. I've not heard anything. I've just got a feeling that's what Aer Lingus will do. I think they still see that as their flagship colours. An A350 in the retro livery would look nice as well. Thank God for that, he's moved that stupid great big speaker away from me. If you are joining us for the first time, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and also like the stream by giving us a thumbs up. It helps us massively, it costs you nothing. We bring you live action 6 days a week, usually 7, but we guarantee no less than 25 streams each and every month. Home base currently being Dublin International here in Ireland. However, from the end of April, around the 26th of April, we head back over for the summer season over in Spain, bringing you all the action, all the thrills, all the spills from those holiday airports across mainland and the islands as well. Looking forward to bumping into a few of you throughout the summer. We just get done no favours, do we? The ironic thing is, causing all this mayhem with roadworks, and you can guarantee the road will be in a worse state when they finish than when they began. There we go, that sharp right hand bank, signature right hand turn off of a new runway here at Dublin. Look at that UPS while we're sat with a bus in front of us. Do have one on approach now as well, guys. Good morning, Marcos Pele, how we doing? Just drove past you, how we doing? Ballydown Tyres Lucan, a big up to you guys. Ballydown Tyres. Might have to come and pay you a visit. I think I need a couple of new tyres. we've got this ATR 72600 on approach. The 27B bus. What else we got? Just look at that traffic. It is literally all the way up. Flew many times on the Aer Lingus 747 New York service to Shannon from Dublin and came back on the BAC 111 and Boeing 737. Good old days. Yes, indeed. How are we doing, Patrick? Welcome to you in the northeast. This looks like an A330 to me, that familiar glide. How are we doing, Jack or JAC? Plane spotting joining us for a quick flying visit. A quick layover from Toronto. Welcome. Just about catching touchdown there after that lorry. Nice landing there from the A330 crew. Number A330 connected to the tug heading to stand. You're welcome, JAC. That's what we do here at Airports Live TV. We are quite different to many lives. We're more about the interaction, more about the community than we are about the aviation. I love aviation, I'm passionate about it. I love streaming. But I love interacting with you guys, that's what makes it worthwhile. It was worse yesterday. What, the traffic was worse? Mind you, it was Sunday, wasn't it? I'll be honest, I hate being up here on a Sunday. Frustrates the life out of me, you can never get parked. And what frustrates me more is, you pull up, there's quite a big parking area, isn't there, here on Old Airport Road. You pull up, finally manage to find somewhere to park. You have to park at the other end of the parking, walk down. And then you see people, and they never even look out the window once at the runway. Now, I know it's public parking, but it is put there really for spotting. There we go, another ATR. Just glanced down, I can see somebody saying they're new. I'll grab you in a minute. Let's just get this ATR first. Being buffeted about there in that wind pocket. That wind pocket is there on the calmest of days. There is a gap in the trees, and I think that's what it is. Everything gets just forced through there. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Where's all you Aer Lingus fans and you Ryanair haters now after that landing? Here we go, we've got Swiss. I'll push him back now as well. Who was it that's new? Behind the Skies, welcome. If you are new here, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give the stream a thumbs up. It really, really does help us. I know some of you are not going to agree with what I'm about to say, but I am so glad that that speaker has disappeared. I'll be honest, I don't really enjoy streaming when I've got ATC blaring in my ear. Like I say, for me, the enjoyment comes not only from watching the planes, watching the airport in general, but also from interacting with you guys. And for me, the ATC just gets in the way of that. Now I know some of you would maybe prefer the streams with ATC in the background. It's just not for me. There we go. Oh, looks like an A320. Behind the Skies, thank you for subscribing. Greatly appreciated. She is indeed an A320. Hopefully this is a better landing than the ATR. It looks like it's gonna be. It took the time, but she's down safely. And that ATR there just showing us all that every airline does come down strong at times with slightly unorthodox landings. How we doing, Liam? Welcome. Winshire. Yeah. This plane looks like a Wookiee. What have we got? We've got a couple on approach. None of the big girls being pushed back just yet. Just grab a quick drink. How are we doing, Jamie? Is it windy there today? They look a bit rocky coming in. Claire, it's not massively windy, but there's the odd little gust, but they are light gusts. There's a couple of wind pockets on the approach into Dublin, and they're really being caught out by them today. I'm going to get flight radar on for you in a moment, but let's just catch this arrival first, because it looks like another ATR to the naked eye. And it is the ATRs that we see. Is indeed an ATR. It's the ATRs that tend to be affected worse by the wind. I am still praying and crossing everything that we get at least one live on that crosswind runway before we head over to Spain for the summer. We will, of course, be coming backwards and forwards to Ireland. We'll still be throwing in probably 5 or 6 Dublin streams each and every month. A bit better from the Aer Lingus crew on board the ACR. These arrivals are coming thick and fast here. I'm going to give that lens a quick wipe after this arrival as well. The Drifter's with us. How we doing, Drifter? One minute, JAC, I'll get back to you in a second. Let's just get this landing. There she is. Right, what have we got? Let's have a look at that Swiss as it taxis out. It'll come in shot in a minute. Let's have a quick catch up with this chat, shall we? Toronto get daily flights from Dublin by Ethiopian. Is it an they're normally early morning flights, so I don't really see them. Is it an Ethiopian aircraft or is it an Ethiopian Airlines flight? Some of the flights are multiple carriers. Could potentially be that, but we do get Ethiopian in. But like I say, they are early morning flights. We've got another ATR on approach. Liam joined us from South Africa, Johannesburg. Hikari joined us from Tokyo in Japan. Welcome to you. Thank you, Ken. Claire Hughes is with us. I want a Boeing 737 to take off. We'll get one on departure soon. They are departing on North Runway, but we do get a rotation shot and the airborne shot, especially for 737s. Here we go, another ATR 72-600, this time in that old livery. I think on tomorrow's live we will run a poll and see which livery you guys really prefer. Do you prefer the old one, the new one? We'll run it as a proper poll. It's going to be an interesting feedback on that. Because those Aer Lingus liveries really do divide opinion. I can't even see in this sun. There she is. There she is. I thought it was you, Claire. How are we doing? It's nice to see a lot of our TikTok originals coming over to YouTube to support us now. It's taken a while, but I said it at the beginning when we first came. If you watch back to some of the early lives here on YouTube, I said it from the beginning, the quality wasn't good at first. We were waiting on new equipment, and I think that had an impact on how many people actually came over, because people couldn't understand, why is he saying let's go over there, the quality's so much better, when it was an improvement, but it wasn't great. Here we go, we've got a 737 on departure now. But now that we're in a full HD, it's actually a 737 MAX on departure. Now that we're in full HD, the improvement is significant. If you are watching it on mobile or indeed any device, do click the little cog symbol at the top right of your video and just check that you are watching in 1080, because sometimes if you're on a mobile network in particular, it automatically sets it based on what it thinks your internet speed can cope with. But unless you are living massively off grid, you should still be able to play 1080 regardless of where you are. Those grey clouds are really making this difficult. I can't see these until they're really, really close today. They're just blending in. I will be putting a post onto the community section here on YouTube. We need your suggestions for destinations that you want us to look at on our new program. We've teamed up with somebody, we're not telling you who just yet. We've teamed up with somebody we're going to be bringing you, and when I say somebody, we've teamed up with a business. We're going to be bringing you a weekly show with all of the best holiday deals we can possibly find for you, but we need you to tell us which destinations you want us to price up. It will be an interactive show as well, it will be live. Good job I checked, because we were down to 4% battery on the laptop. I've just turned it on and plugged it in. Not anymore. CityJet used to have some boost. How are we doing, Carl? I'm still getting used to you moving. I'm constantly hitting on TikTok. We will do the odd live on TikTok. There won't be airport lives, but once we're over in Spain, we'll do some lives. Whilst we're out and about, we might do like a day in the life series on TikTok once we're over in Spain. Here we go, another ATR on its way in. This one is crabbing significantly on its way in. I'd like to say thank you for making me feel very welcome this morning. I have chores and videos to edit. Enjoy your editing, JAC. You always get a warm welcome here at Airports Live TV. Sorry, I'm trying to read the comments whilst staying in shot. I'm just staying in shot on this one because it is buffeting about quite a bit. Somebody was saying about that 737 just with the winglets. It could possibly have been. I didn't have flight radar on. I was literally just picking it up in shot. There we go, we've got that Logan Air ATR. She's down safely. These arrivals coming thick and fast now. A little bit caught up there. Has to be the old. Philip says the Aer Lingus livery has to be the old livery. So distinctive. It is. Look, we go over and over this almost every live now because it's such a varied opinion on the Aer Lingus liveries. I get the half and half. I understand what people mean about that livery. I just think that the green that is on it in its current form looks faded and tired. It looks dated. Possibly they just need a repaint, or possibly they could use the green off of the new livery. They just don't look shiny. That's the word. They just don't look glossy. But I do get that people are clinging to the nostalgia of when it was a national airline. I get that. We've got another one on approach. They are coming in thick and fast. I think we've got a minute or two between arrivals after this, so I'll have a quick look at the comments while I have a drink and a Doc Cotton. I might even have a fruit chew. I bought some fruit chews before I came today. There she is. That Qatar has finished the back end of the cargo. Now loading at the front. Let's catch up with you guys. How we doing, Maxmed? What is your setup for live streaming? How do you do it? I've wanted to start live streaming plane spotting, but I don't know what I need. I've looked online and no helpful info. Behind the skies. It's what you'll find is with the live streaming community. In general, the live streaming community is very helpful, very supportive and very encouraging of new streamers. But that's where it stops. That's with the general live streaming community. The aviation live streaming community is very, very different. You will find that you will get about as much help from the live aviation streaming community as you will from a chocolate teapot. So I'm going to give you some advice, because that's not what we're about. That's what makes us different. We like to encourage streaming because that's what it's about. We love aviation. We want as many people as possible to experience aviation in one sense or another. At the minute, we're using the camera that we take everywhere with us. It's a Panasonic HC series camcorder. You'll need that, you'll need a shotgun mic, or you can use a lapel or lavalier mic. Then the important part, you can get apps to stream through, and you can use your phone as a monitor. I don't like that. To me, it doesn't work. We use a laptop with OBS Studio on it. The camera is linked to using a mini HDMI to a standard HDMI into a capture card and then into the laptop. I think you've got a lot more functionality. You get a better connection as well. You'll need plenty of power banks, and you will need some way of powering your laptop, because when you run OBS through a laptop, whatever your standard battery time is, halve it and you'll be somewhere about right. We've got the Emirates pushing back. I hope that has helped you a little bit. If you are seriously considering setting up, if you want to email us at media@airportslivetv.com, I'll give you as much guidance as I possibly can. There is that Emirates 777 on pushback. I'm going to stay with this. We've got nothing in the immediate vicinity on approach. We've got a couple on taxi out, but let's stick with this beautiful Emirates 777 pushing back for now. I wish you asked them to tour in the ATC. Could do, possibly, yeah. I remember nobody liked the new United livery, and now everyone loves it. Aer Lingus seems to still be a bit mixed. Yeah, I think the thing with Aer Lingus that we all have to understand is Aer Lingus was the national airline for so long, and Irish culture is very different, I find, to culture in many countries. I've lived all over the world, and the Irish culture is extremely strong, traditional, and they really do I was gonna say cling to things, but when I say cling, that sounds wrong. I mean they take pride in their history, and I think because it was their almost the flag bearer and so iconic as a livery, there is an element that just don't like the change. That's not necessarily a bad thing. How are we doing, Dylan, Jess? I'm feeling quite a bit better today, thank you. I hope what I've just said came across in the right way, how I meant it, and that is that, like, history means so much, and it can be such silly history. What other people deem as silly history can mean so much. Like for example, Aer Lingus. It is only an airline at the end of the day, but that thing of it was the flag bearer, it was the national airline, people relate so strongly to. The engines on the 777s always catch me outside. I know they are absolutely huge. How are we doing, Lino? Join us again from Hamburg. So behind the skies, I hope that did help you, that little bit of info that I could give you there. I can help you more if you want to email us at media@airportslivetv.com. No, you're right, we cling to things because anything historic and has meaning to communities gets ripped away from us for profit. Yeah. I know people still think it should be a national owned airline. I completely disagree with that. And again, that's in itself, not just in Ireland, globally, that's a very divisive subject, because some people really do believe that governments should own airlines, and they sort of miss the fact that even if a government owns it, the government will actually make more profit than an airline will. And people sort of see past that, and they just don't want to see individuals making money. But my argument with nationalising airlines, nationalising rail networks, nationalising any transport is you are held over a barrel then by a government. If they decide, right, no more travel for anybody, that airline just stops flying. But I do agree with what you're saying in sentiment, like I say, sometimes it can look like maybe it's been taken too far. Like you worded it right, the clinging to things can look like it's been taken too far. However, that's not always a bad thing. What am I on here? Because I'm not on it. Do you know something? When I was trying to focus in, I'm focusing on the next arrival, which is miles out. I thought I was focusing on this. I couldn't work out why it's still so small. Just down safely. Yeah, it's something that other countries can take. Like the UK, for example. We don't celebrate things in the UK. Like St George's Day is the equivalent of St Patrick's Day, and that's not even celebrated in schools. Chris, I'm going to come to your comment in a second because I think it's worthy of a read, but let's just catch this arrival first. I am coming back to you though, Chris. Don't go anywhere. Here we go. This is the one that we were trying to focus on when it was still somewhere out over water, or water as we would say in Yorkshire. Just before we do go to Chris's comment though, that to me just looks like a modern, clean, stylish airline in that livery. Here we go, let's focus in on this Emirates. That beautiful Boeing 777 there. Right, what was Chris saying? I think, right, let's go to Dylan first and then Chris, we'll go in order. Dylan saying, I think the problem people have is that a British company owns Aer Lingus and not an Irish one. Possibly. But then, based on, I don't know, is that really a fair argument, a fair reason? Because, like, I don't know many Irish people that don't order from Amazon. Amazon isn't Irish owned. Tesco isn't Irish owned. Lidl isn't Irish owned. Aldi isn't Irish owned. I don't know. As an Irishman, I think some didn't like the change because it was very formalic and unadventurous. I don't know. I'm going to finish reading that comment because I don't know if I've got the full point yet. It didn't stand out at international airports like before. White is also cheaper. I don't know, like, what, 95% probably of that Emirates 777 is white. it stands out. Nobody's ever going to be able to argue that Emirates doesn't have a higher class standout brand image than Aer Lingus, and most of aircraft are all white. But I do agree with you in one sense. I think you have probably hit the nail on the head. I think what some people thought was it looks similar to a Ryanair livery, possibly, in the sense that the tail is a bold colour. It is their block colour. And they maybe didn't like the fact that it was being compared to Ryanair. However, on a short-haul flight, Aer Lingus are no different to Ryanair. They provide nothing extra. They provide nothing more than Ryanair on a short-haul journey, other than a bigger price tag, normally. But I do agree with you. I think that was possibly part of it. I've always felt it was because there wasn't enough green in the livery. And again, it goes back to being like the old national airline, doesn't it? Thanks for all the information. I'll take a look at all the stuff. One more thing. Do you use a tripod? Oh yeah, I'm on a tripod. Sorry, I've got a Kia tripod. And then this head that's on it at the moment is a Kia fluid video head. However, it has been through the wars, this head. I'm just waiting for a new Manfrotto head to arrive. Definitely get the heaviest tripod you can find that you are able to move around easily, because the heavier your tripod and the more stable a shot you're going to get. I don't know what the weather is usually like at airports you want to stream from, but if you get any sort of wind, it is better to have the heavier tripod. As much as that makes it difficult for transporting it at times, it is better to have that slightly heavier tripod or something to weight it down. I'm not far from you. Ryanair HQ for the week in Swords, no way. Who was that? We'll get back to you in a second. We've got this 737 Max, I believe. Or is it a 737 with winglets? It's a 737 Max. She's down safely. Do have another one on approach. Let's just take in this Emirates for a second. Riley plane spotting over at HQ. Big up Riley plane spotting. Personally, I love Aer Lingus, always fly with them. A long haul big fan of the green livery, as you would know. But I also like the new one since it looks a lot more modern. Yeah, I think that is probably the other reason why it is such a divided opinion. Because we're all very different on our styles as well, and they are two they're polar opposites. One is I call it dated old-fashioned, other people would call it traditional. I don't think it's quite traditional. I think it just looks a bit tired. But like I've said before, maybe it would look a lot better with a fresh coat of paint. Aer Lingus are not great at repainting and keeping the aircraft nice and glossy. Nobody can argue that. Whereas the new livery, it is that modern, clean look, and that's my personal preference. I like a modern, clean look. In the same way that if I was redecorating my living room, it would be nice and ultra modern. Other people would go for a traditional look. Same with kitchens. I like a modern kitchen. Other people like a traditional country kitchen. So I suppose that is the difference. And I do agree with you, as a long haul carrier, they far surpass what they are as short haul carriers. As short haul carriers, I've said it before and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face, I don't believe they bring anything additional to the market that can justify the additional prices. And before anybody jumps down my throat, I know if you search hard enough, you can find a cheaper Aer Lingus flight than a Ryanair flight on one route for one day of the year. But on 90% of journeys, Ryanair are substantially cheaper than Aer Lingus. Let me catch up. Emirates have a revised tail livery on one of their A380s. It has a more effective, a bit like a flapping flag. I've seen that. I think the design was compared to Lufthansa rebranding and just having two colours. There were complaints when they took the yellow out of the condor and the tail. I don't mind the airlines. Yeah, Chris Coyle. The thing is, like, people don't like change in general. We know that. As human beings, we don't like change. It's your good friend Owen Riley. I thought it was you. How are we doing? Video Nest 2.0, welcome. Aer Lingus are running cheaper than Ryanair. What do you mean, Riley? I've been comparing flights with Aer Lingus and Ryanair, and I'm struggling to find any more than 10% of flights across quite a big sample of about 150 journeys where Aer Lingus come in cheaper than Ryanair. Or do you mean they've got cheaper operating costs than Ryanair? Yeah, Behind the Skies saying very similar to me, well, almost identical to what I think. It just does look like it's faded paint at this point. Like say, a complete, keep with that colour scheme, but a complete repaint and re-livery may make it pop a little bit more. It just looks faded, like the sun's got to it. I'd always fly Ryanair since it's a lot cheaper. I think they're a great airline and my experience, very friendly staff. Agreed, Dylan. I've flown with Ryanair probably upwards of 1,500 journeys, and I've had two cancelled flights. Interestingly, both due to fog here at Dublin Airport when I was flying back into Dublin. Both times once from Alicante and once from Parma, and both times they have put me up in a hotel, paid for it in advance. None of this me pay and then claim it back from Ryanair. One of the hotels they put me in had no evening meal, they only did breakfast. So they asked what sort of food we wanted. I said, I don't know the area. So they gave us a list of restaurants in the area. I said, oh, you fancy Turkish? They rang and prepaid our meal at the Turkish restaurant and then flew us back in on the next available flight. Great service we got from Ryanair. And one thing I will say is, if any airline is less likely to cancel a flight, it is Ryanair. So if you're more interested in, right, I just definitely want to fly at all cost, Ryanair are less likely to cancel flights than Aer Lingus. And that's just based on like my experience and the numbers that we see. But that being said, Ryanair are less likely to cancel flights than most other airlines, simply because they work so heavily based on volume. There we have that, Ryanair. We are going to be staying with departures because that Emirates will be leaving us very, very soon. Oh, cheaper operating costs. Yeah. So Owen's just told us, Riley Plane Spotting's just told us, Aer Lingus have lower operating costs than Ryanair, yet they are still charging the prices that they charge. It is very interesting, isn't it, that if you had two shops side by side selling identical products, and one product was €100, but the shop next door was €175 for an identical product, we would all say, well, wait a minute, we're not going next door and paying €175, here's the Emirates. We're not going next door and paying €175 when we can pay €100. But with Aer Lingus and Ryanair, people quite happily do it. Now, I'm not talking about long haul flights because Ryanair obviously don't fly long haul, and Aer Lingus are a very different airline when they fly long haul, in my opinion. There is that beautiful 777. Those wheels being stowed away, landing gear up, beginning that right hand bank just about now. Nice and early there. They do have to bank to stop the, well, try and minimise the complaints of the residents. There she is. She's an absolute beauty of an aircraft, that 777. We do like her. Don't forget, while we're speaking about Emirates, we have that Emirates A380 once in a lifetime giveaway for you guys. All you have to do is click on our YouTube channel, click on the live section and re-watch any of our lives since the 1st of March. Tell us how many planes landed or departed during the first 15 minutes of those lives. Enter as many times as you want. Tell us in the comments all of the correct entries from all of the videos going to the prize draw the last Saturday of September, and we are giving you the chance to win 4 nights in a luxury 5-star hotel in Dubai, 2 luxury excursions, the chance to meet us and come and do some streaming with Airports Live TV. But we're not finished there. We're also giving you connecting flights from the UK or Dublin over to Amsterdam, where you will be joining us on board the Emirates A380 travelling in business class over to Dubai. We are travelling in November, so you must be free during November, and if you are under 18 and you win, your guest that you bring with you must be your parent or guardian. So just a little bit of a heads up there about that giveaway. Do get involved. I am feeling a bit better, thank you, Sparky Eyes. I can't remember the British Airways livery from the early 2000s. And I guess, look, when I talk about airlines and liveries and the way they operate and all these things, I treat an airline as that, an airline. I don't have this association of an airline being British Airways being the airline of Britain, Aer Lingus being the airline of Ireland, Singapore Airlines being the airline of Singapore. I don't see it as that. I just see them as airlines and base things on the service and on my view of their appearance. That's all I base it on. I differentiate between the two. I don't see them as like a national thing. So I do look at things slightly differently to most people on this. Do you like Flight Simulator? I don't play Flight Simulator. I've tried it a few times and I'm just not good enough at it, and I only like playing games that I can win at. Ryanair are a great company, be around all their officers, they're working hard to keep everyone happy. I love Ryanair. You guys all know that I love Ryanair. Without Ryanair, so many people would not be able to take their kids on holiday, would not be able to experience travelling around Europe, because they truly do bring low-cost travel. There are very few businesses in the world right now, and I don't just mean in travel or just in airlines, I mean in general, that when they announce a bargain sale, actually means that the general person can book at that price. Whenever they advertise they're doing a $9.99 flight sale or a $19.99 flight sale, you can genuinely get them. None of this business like Premier Inn do it, for example, where they, in the UK, where they do like a £49 a night room, or is it $29.99 or something like that. But whenever you try and book, oh sorry, that rate's all sold out. If you're within 24 hours of the launch of a Ryanair sale, you do tend to get the bargain prices. There is that Qatar Dreamliner. How are we doing, Peter? Stuart, Yeah, my opinion is I don't think Ryanair will ever fly transatlantic. It doesn't suit their business model. I think it would be a bad move for the business if they tried to branch into transatlantic. Like, I'm a massive supporter of Ryanair as an airline and as a business, but would I fly a 7.5, 8 hour flight on a Ryanair flight in its current setup, even if it was a larger aircraft, say for example a 757, but in its current setup, would I travel Ryanair? No. Because they are a budget airline, and I don't want to travel a true budget airline on a long haul flight. However, one thing that potentially you could see happening is the possibility maybe of like a merger with somebody like JetBlue. Two budget airlines coming together. You could see that possibly. And the other issue that Ryanair would have with flying transatlantic routes, and let's be honest, it wouldn't even be Ryanair's issue or Ryanair's fault. It would be the amount of bad press and negative media attention they would receive for doing transatlantic flights. And the reason I say that is because I guarantee you, on the very first transatlantic flight that Ryanair did, you would have all those clever Harrys that don't book any luggage and try and take two great big rucksacks that you would struggle to fit the contents of into a normal 30 kg suitcase and try and take them on as hand luggage, then be all over social media complaining that they were charged at the gate to check in their bag. Their model just doesn't work, I don't think, for transatlantic. Here we go, we've got this Boeing 737 on departure. And one thing that I would hate if Ryanair went transatlantic is for me to be right. Normally I like being right, yeah, it's one of my favourite things to do. But I would hate to be right in this situation, because I actually think by Ryanair going transatlantic, they put the risk of the entire business, they're risking their entire business by doing it, and I would hate to see everybody lose Ryanair, because whether you like them, you hate them, they bring a lot to the market. You imagine the prices of Aer Lingus, of KLM, of British Airways, if Ryanair didn't exist and they could just go in at whatever price they want. Let's be real, Aer Lingus, British Airways, and to some extent KLM are expensive enough as it is, and they've got low cost competition. If they had no low cost competition at all, how much do you think their flights would be? You truly would need a mortgage to fly. Atti's back with us. How are we doing, Atti? Live at 3:20, unlikely. I don't know how long we've been live, but we will check. I had a quiet Paddy's Day spark, guys. I'm going to go back through some of these comments. Once this has landed, we're going to pick that Qatar taxi up and get ready for that 787 Dreamliner. There she is, she's down safely. Let's pick up this Qatar. And let me catch up with some of these comments, because I'm quite a way behind, I think. Carl Shield loves Aer Lingus. The new runway is cool and all, but when you had the old runway on TikTok, it was great. Take off, land non-stop. I know, Michael. It's weird because if you remember on TikTok, before the new runway opened, I couldn't wait for it to open because it brought us a new variation on content. But it's actually made life a little bit more difficult for us now. Do you think they ever will? I don't think so. Chris Kipper, Ryanair are great. Ryanair are great, but I preferred to work for Aer Lingus because they offered better pay and work conditions and more flexibility. Yeah, Chris, there's no disputing that possibly conditions are better with Aer Lingus. However, most people, we will get this landing, most people that go and work for Ryanair are at the beginning of their career, and they use it as a stepping stone to progress over to long haul airlines. But I do agree, pay is low. But pay is low in the travel industry in general. One thing I will say though, in regards to Ryanair and Aer Lingus, because I agree that the pay is a little bit better with Aer Lingus, and there's the chance of getting onto the long-haul transatlantic routes with Aer Lingus. I completely agree on that. But one thing to note, if you are considering getting into cabin crew, Ryanair isn't all bad. You don't have the natural progression towards transatlantic, but what you do have is a company that have true bases all around Europe. It does give you the opportunity, especially I'm talking especially to the British viewers now, because we're post-Brexit, it does give you that opportunity to potentially work your way within the business and get located in Spain, in France, in Malta, and in Portugal and places like this, and be able to get your visas and your work permits because you can work under their localized companies. So that is just something to bear in mind, but I do agree that the pay is better with Aer Lingus. I'm going to come back to them comments in a second. We've got one on approach. Let me get back to these comments and just catch up a little bit. JetBlue already has a code share with Aer Lingus, so it would be unlikely they start a new code share with Ryanair. Yeah, it would be unlikely, but listen, there's been a lot of stranger things happen. And I just use JetBlue as an example. I think the point I'm making is I don't think we will ever see a Ryanair flight doing a transatlantic route, but we may see a company merge with Ryanair over the next 10-15 years to offer transatlantic travel. One thing I do think though is that Ryanair should introduce a two-strike policy and just start banning people from the airline. And this is going to be controversial. I'll quickly catch up with these comments and then I'll tell you my controversial plan for Ryanair bans. I think JetBlue is one of the best US airlines. They have some of the best food and crew. It's friendly. I do remember the buzz around New Runway. We were all buzzing for it. We were. Val and her hubby went to the farriers to have their feet done today. Sorry, the chiropodist. Yes, I was on the A330 as an aircraft technician on the ramp. Yeah, right. So, my controversial plan that I think Ryanair should implement. It's a two-strike rule. It's a yellow and red card system, and you get banned from the airline. We're going to catch this arrival because it looks like that Qatar is almost ready for departure. So my plan, if somebody is caught deliberately trying to flout the baggage policy, they get a yellow card. So if you deliberately turn up at the gate with a case or a rucksack that is way too big and it's a deliberate ploy, you get your yellow card and charged €60 to check it in. If you get caught a second time, you get a red card. You just have your flight cancelled and you find your own way, either on holiday or your way home, and you're banned from the airline. Why should an airline with such a transparent baggage policy, and it is a transparent baggage policy, if anybody in the chat has a point to put forward about the reason why maybe it isn't transparent, I'm open to listening, but it is probably the most transparent baggage policy on the planet. If people are going to deliberately try and breach that policy, in my opinion, it is no different to shoplifting. But why should the people who think to themselves, like I do, right, listen, I got my flight for €49, I want an extra legroom seat, it's going to cost me an extra €17, and I want to take a cabin bag, it's going to cost me an extra €30. I've still got a flight cheaper than I can get with any other airline, I'm happy. Why should I then try and get on board that flight and have nowhere to put that bag that I've paid for because some imbecile has decided to get on that flight with a rucksack that sits 4 feet off their back because they've put that much stuff into it because they're going to get one over on Ryanair? That's nonsense. Atty, you never asked your question last time, which was why you got muted. You just kept on asking us, can you ask a question? I like your subtle way of trying to troll, but we're not going down that. I agree, Adam. With some of the new 737 Maxes, Ryanair can go transatlantic if they want, however it will be unlikely. The 737 Max can fly transatlantic, however it can't fly transatlantic fully loaded with full passengers. It takes it right to its very edge of its capacity if it is fully laden. It's a clear policy, so I agree. It couldn't be a clearer policy. You buy a seat. Let's use an analogy of a supermarket, yeah? If you want to go to a supermarket to buy the stuff, buy the ingredients to make a burger, okay? You want burger for your dinner. So what you do is you go to the supermarket, any supermarket of your choice, Tesco, Lidl, Aldi, Waitrose, I don't care. You go to the supermarket of your choice. You go in there with either a shopping list or in your mind, you know, right, I'm going to have burgers for my dinner, so I need some minced beef or buy patties. So you need to buy your patties because that's the main part of your burger, yeah? So that is your flight. But you also need the bread bun for it to go in. That is your baggage. You also maybe want some lettuce and some onions to make it a little bit more luxurious, a burger, a more gourmet burger. They are your extra legroom seat. It isn't difficult, is it? You don't go into that supermarket and say, right, I'm buying the patty, but throw everything else in because, well, I don't want to pay for it. You wouldn't do that. So why do it with a Ryanair flight? It frustrates the life out of me. Just out of interest, and there will be no hate from me or anybody in this chat, I promise you that. Is there anybody in the chat right now that does try to play the Ryanair baggage policy and tries to not pay for a cabin bag, but turn up with a huge rucksack that doesn't fit in the size gate? Is there anybody in? Because I've got a question for you. I'm just interested to know, like, the reasoning behind it. I think it's something that's important to understand, because I can't see any reasoning behind it. Years ago I got cheap flights with World Airways, offered $1 rebate to suck you in. Worst airline I ever used. But I was falling apart. No way. Can you see it? I can't see anything, Atty. That is the point of why Ryanair is so cheap. Yeah, everything is an optional extra, but it's only... Here we go, we've got this Qatar. Have we got anybody in that does try to play the Ryanair baggage policy? I've just got a genuine question for you. And I promise you there'll be no hate, there'll be nothing from us or anybody in the community. There we go, that beautiful 787 Dreamliner. Landing gear now stowed, beginning that turn very, very soon. There she goes. Malta Air just touching down. We do need to get this camera plugged in a second, so we'll just have a watch of this being pushed back. May everyone subscribe to you. Yes, everybody hit that subscribe button. Not me because I live in South Africa, no. We've got nobody wanting to come forward then. Now, thank you to Utman Kumar for that subscription, greatly appreciated. That being said, I'm not against people taking the maximum amount of luggage you're allowed. You can get those bags that you can fit the world in and they still fit inside the size gate. I've got no issue if you want to drag it along the floor because it's got 500 kilos in it. As long as you can lift it up or put it under the chair in front, I'm not bothered. But if you haven't paid for a checked bag, it should be under the seat in front of you. But the question I had, and nobody's going to come forward, but the question I had was to those people. You begin your holiday by not paying for something that you know full well you should be paying for and inconveniencing other people in the process. So, based on that logic, do you then arrive at your destination? Let's take, for example, Mallorca. You arrive at your hotel, you check into your room, you then go to a restaurant for a nice dinner, 4 or 5 drinks. When it comes to paying, do you only pay for the food or do you also pay for the drinks? What I'm trying to work out is it a mentality that transfers across your entire holiday, or is it simply a case of doing it to Ryanair and inconveniencing everybody else on board? That is the question I've always wanted to know the answer to, but most people won't admit to doing it. Now I know that there is the argument, and I suppose it is a valid argument in one sense, of how can they charge more for a bag than they do for the actual seat on the plane. But you try taking 25 or 30 kilos of items as air freight on any other airline as cargo, and you'll pay more than taking a suitcase. They make their money on the cargo, and they're not saying you have to take a bag. It is an optional extra, isn't it? Never been. Ryanair, a great airline. I simply wouldn't risk it with a policy. Exactly. Like, I heard somebody on TikTok saying, well, I've been doing it for... They were stopped and charged €60. And their argument was, you can't charge me €60 because I've been doing this for years. There's nothing wrong with it. I've been doing it for years. Well, I'm sorry, but surely the fact that you've been doing it for years, you should have just stayed quiet, paid the €60 and thought yourself, well, you know what, I've got off cheap here. That's like saying, well, I wasn't drink driving, officer. You can't do anything about it because I've been doing it for the last 20 years. It's perfectly fine. I've been doing it for 20 years. Anyway. Exactly, Michael Nolan. And do you know something? Weighing your bags before you go on holiday is actually a part of my holiday. If I'm travelling with suitcases, like checked in suitcases, that's all part of it. Are we going to be on weight? Are we going to be over? Are we going to have to move this from mine into yours? Or I'm going to have to leave that pair of socks behind? It's all part of your holiday. Now, I do just want to make one thing clear, because I've realised what I've said. I do want to make one thing clear with this baggage policy with Ryanair, and it's one thing that I will agree with a lot of people on. The fact that your cabin case won't fit inside the size gate because of its wheels or its handle, I think people, if they get charged €60 for that, are a bit hard done to. But I've never personally seen that happen. I've heard people on TikTok say it has. But then if you look at every other video they've posted, there's been something that they know is going to get them views. So I saw the question whether it is genuine or not. I'm talking about when people are blatantly doing it. We've all seen it. The guy with a rucksack that sticks 3.5 foot off his back, struggling to stay stood upright, all to try and prove a point. Hey Deb, how's you? How's Captain Shane? And how? Oh shit, wait there. Sorry guys, I dropped my other phone fell off of my setup. And it's got a cracked screen already and it went in a puddle. But I think we're all right. How's you? How's little man? Hope you're having a fantastic time over there in Lanzarote. Those baggage charges are to put you off taking hold luggage. Turnaround time is less, plane is lighter using. Yeah, to be fair, the baggage charges we're talking about are for hand luggage. If you don't pre-book your hand luggage with Ryanair, if if you don't pay for it, you're only allowed to take one bag, which is meant to be a small rucksack. And the only reason a rucksack has been put in place is to be fair to all genders, because like you're allowed realistically it's meant to be like a handbag or a laptop bag, and then you pay for a 10 kg cabin bag. That's what we talk about. If you book it in advance, it's only about 20 quid, 25 quid, something like that. To be honest, I don't even know how much it is, because I just automatically, my mind just automatically adds it. But that's the bags we're talking about. I've just seen my old office behind that 330 emotional. No way, Chris. I can't find a bag big enough for the kitchen sink. Of course, Adam ranting. We have to have a rant, don't we? Trying to find a Buc-ee's. You're in Costa Teguise. Go in anything that says casino on, you know, on the front where the Chinese is, Debs? On that strip where the Chinese, if you go in any of the casinos down there, they all have the terminals. You just put your bets on using the terminal. If not, there's a Buc-ee's in Matagorda, obviously, in one of the pubs. But anything that says casino will have a betting terminal inside. It just looks like a touchscreen thing, like you're in McDonald's. And you can change the language to English. I'm going to come back to them comments in a second. Let's just get this arrival. Can somebody tell me how long we've been live, please? And I should just clarify, when I said where that Chinese is on the strip, it calls itself a Chinese restaurant. In my opinion, it is absolute muck. Probably one of the worst Chinese buffets I've ever eaten in. But your man Dave on TikTok claims it's not a paid promotion, but apparently it is the best Chinese buffet, non-paid promotion. My backside. Dave, come on, be true to yourself. You were paid to do that. Or get your taste buds checked. How's Creative's with us? I'm going to come to you in a second, bro. Right now it's all about making profit. They want as little stuff on the aircraft, more fuel to burn in the sky. I was 500 grams over on my suitcase, they wanted to charge 30, yet I was 3 kilo under on the other. Yeah, but the thing is, like, they can't physically stop you from just saying, oh yeah, I'm just gonna leave stuff behind and just move it into the other suitcase. As long as you are genuinely travelling together. How is Creative? How's Aussie? How are we doing, Andrew Strain? Welcome, brother. Says 1 hour. An hour and 49 minutes we've been live. Yeah, the Irish Bailey don't do bookies today, so you have to use the arcades. I don't know if it was viral. I'm on the watch out for Dave. I did tell you. That is the difference between us at Airports Live TV and most travel creators. We will only recommend something based on our real opinions. I've always said, if we don't believe in the product, believe in the service, we just won't promote it. And I'm sorry, but that Chinese, there is no way that anybody has eaten that. You might have eaten it and thought, oh yeah, it wasn't great, but it wasn't muck. But there's no way anybody has put any of that food in their mouth and decided it's the best Chinese buffet in Lanzarote, or even on that side of the island. Not a chance. Here we go, we've got this A330 gliding in. Nose is finally down, a bit of wing flex there as well. All is quiet now here at Dublin. We're going to do probably another 15 minutes or so. Let's just have a look at what's happening up here. Glad you're well, Ozzy. Did you know I asked my question 10 times? Yes, Atty. It's always baggage handlers that delayed our aircraft on the ramp. Quite probably. Definitely going to Port del Carmen tomorrow for the day. Enjoy it in Carmen. My neighbour is Chinese and she always brings around food for Chinese New Year to celebrate. So good. Yeah, like, we all forget that when we look at what we all think is Chinese, Indian food, we get like a very, very westernized version of it that's been designed purely for our palates. If you're fortunate enough to be able to get like proper Indian food, proper Chinese food, homemade food, it is so much better. And I love an Indian, I love a Chinese. And whilst we're at it, we will just put that point there to remind you of the TikTok days. If you say you're getting a curry, you're getting it from an Indian, not a Chinese. An Indian is a curry shop. A Chinese, there's about 4% of the menu that is actually a curry. Therefore, you say you're getting a Chinese. This used to be one of our regular debates on TikTok. I'm sure Creative and Debs will remember. I can't remember if I've mentioned it already, but we have now got memberships. Well, I'm not sure if it's actually active yet, but we have got the membership option there. We've just submitted yesterday for approval our tiers. We're just waiting for them to actually go live. We are going to do what we said. We're going to use the memberships as giveaways. There's going to be a monthly draw for a voucher. I don't know how much it'll be. It'll depend on how many members we get, and obviously it will increase over time as our membership grows. And then we're going to do a quarterly giveaway for a short break, whether it be a 2-night hotel break in the UK, Ireland or Europe, or maybe we do like a 3 or 4 night break including flights. All depends how many members we can get. And then we were going to do one big draw once a year to win a nice 7-night holiday. And then it's just going to be tiered. So we've done them as cabin crew, first officer and captain. Cabin crew members will get 1 entry into each draw. I think first officers get 5 entries and captains get 15 entries into each draw. We just thought we'd make it a little bit different. We like to give back when we can. And at the end of the day, memberships help us to grow anyway, so don't forget, if you do want to support us, the best ways to do so, a click in the description of this video or in the channel, Check out some of our partners. If you're thinking about booking any hotels, we are partnered up with booking.com. We're partnered up with On the Beach if you're based in the UK or Ireland and you're looking for a holiday. And of course, a travel supermarket for any flights, car hire, travel insurance, any of that good stuff is all on Travel Supermarket. All the links are in the description of this, or they should be in the description of this video, and of course in our channel description. And for those of you that have been asking, there is the link there to our PayPal donation. The other way of supporting us is through Super Chats. But please, nobody support us if you can't afford to, if it's going to change the way you live, if it's going to mean you can't have a cup of tea, you can't have a steak for breakfast and dinner. Please don't do it. Only support us if you are comfortable doing it, if you want to do it, and if you feel it's the right thing to do. We don't expect anything from any of you. It's nothing like the takeaway. How are we doing, Strange Media? Everybody grab Strange Media and subscribe to Andrew for me, please. He's a great guy. He comes up to Dublin while I'm in Spain. I'm sure you are going to be seeing some lives from Dublin Airport. I'm sure Andrew will come up and do one for you if we ask him nicely. He is a great guy. He lives up in Belfast. He has a lot of automotive content, cars, planes, trains, automobiles and all that jazz. So do give him a subscription, please. How amazing is this? We're supporting another creator. I hope I don't get the lurgy for doing that, because that seems to be what every other channel thinks. If you help other people on YouTube, you get the lurgy, I believe. But we're always going to help people, especially people like Andrew and Strange Media TV. So do give them a subscription, please. Thank you very much. Strange Media announcement complete. Here we go. We've got that A330 that we saw coming in, just taxiing onto stand. I got the cabin crew to wish my mum happy 50th when we landed. I bet she was mortified. It's nothing like the takeaway, so much better, I agree. I remember those mushroom days. Oh yes, mushroom days. Can anybody remember when Laters turned up with curry beans? Baked beans with a little bit of curry sauce, and it's like squirted curry sauce. It's not even a proper curry in a tin. Wow, they were vile. True, when I go to Goa, I always eat local food, much better than British takeaway. Definitely, Chris. I'm making a model, 1/500 scale model airport. No way, Atty. Good afternoon, Helen. How are we doing? If you are just joining us, welcome to Airports Live TV. I'm Adam James. We're live from Dublin International today, tomorrow, and the rest of the week. We head back over to Spain. I think it's the 26th of April. It's between 25th and 27th of April to bring you all the frills and spills of the holiday airports all over mainland Spain and all of the islands. Hopefully we're going to meet some of you on your jollies over there as well. In desperate need of a drink, but we're going to get this arrival first. Thank you to Ashlyn Elliott there with the sub. Apologies if I have missed any of you that have subscribed during today's live. Sometimes they come up, sometimes they don't. Just on one last point while we're talking about supporting us. We don't ask you for anything, but I am asking you. If you are watching us on a live replay at any point, if you're catching up because you've missed the live and you want to watch us instead of Fair City. Fair City, for those of you that don't know, is like a soap with no budget. It's got some of the worst acting I've ever seen in my life. It's an Irish soap. It's a bit like Coronation Street in EastEnders, but it is shockingly bad. Apologies if anybody is an actor or an actress from Fair City and watching us. but wow, is it bad. But anyway, if you want to watch us on catch up of an evening, please, if an ad does pop up and it gives you the option to skip it, please just let it play. It only takes about 20-30 seconds at the most, but every time you watch it we get a tiny little bit of money, and that all adds up and it all helps us to be able to continue to deliver content on a daily basis and to get us to bigger, better places throughout the year. Should I post about it on my channel? Definitely. I'm fine, thank you, Adam. Back to work tomorrow. Had a week off, not looking forward to it. No way. Gina M deleted a comment. What did you delete, Gina? How we doing, Paul Freeman? Welcome, brother. Gina, I like it. Holy guacamole-atty. There was an actual question. You didn't post a damn thing the other times. You said you had a question. We've got there. We finally got there. I thought Imperial leather soap. Michael Nolan there with a fun fact. The actor and actors and actresses wear their own clothes in it too. Awful viewing. Fun fact then, while we're talking about clothes and soaps. Coronation Street. Few fun facts for you here. The Coronation Street stars, the actors, the actresses, they don't wear their own clothes, but they try to get clothes that they would possibly wear in their real life. But the interesting fact is, if you watch Coronation Street and look at anywhere that's ever had a fire in Coronation Street, so look at the Rover's Return, look at any other place that have ever had a fire, and you will see a reference to it that is hidden. It is usually that something in there is orange. That is a fun fact for you. Top of the afternoon to you, how we doing, Anonymous? That's not the question, says Atty. I think we must have had quite a few Fair City fans in. I think I've upset them. Our views have plummeted since I mentioned Fair City. Never mind. It's either that I upset the Fair City fans, or the Fair City fans came in and were so confused because they saw some quality broadcasting and they just weren't used to it. They just got confused, they did. Here we go, we've got this BA on its final descent into Dublin. I've just actually remembered what Fair City reminds me of. Who can remember when Hollyoaks first ever broadcast with Will Mellor in it? That's what it reminds me of. It was quite a low budget production in the early days, Hollyoaks, and that is what Fair City reminds me of. EastEnders. EastEnders would be my favourite soap. I would sit there and watch EastEnders. I think they have better storylines. Emmerdale should be my favourite. It's Yorkshire. But the problem for me with Emmerdale is there's about 12 houses in that village and they have had everything. This is supposed to be a rural community in Yorkshire that's about 12 houses, but they've had everything. Every demographic you can possibly think of. Every catastrophe you can ever think of. Every disaster. They've had it in the last 5 years alone. How can that be possible? Surely that village would just be abandoned with the amount of bad luck that they get in Emmerdale. I used to watch the Omnibus on a Sunday. Bring back Brookie. Anonymous doesn't like the Aer Lingus new livery. There we go, another supporter of the old livery. Hit the like button. Couldn't find the love button. I love your stream. Thank you, Paul Freeman. If you haven't already done it, guys, do hit that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up. It greatly helps us, and we really do appreciate it. How are we doing, Jamie? Good day, good night in Australia. Whereabouts in Oz are you, brother? Love EastEnders. Eldorado. I can remember Eldorado. Can't remember it in detail, but I can remember the show Eldorado. Had quite a catchy theme tune, didn't it? My question is about my channel. You asked if you should post content of your model airport. I said yes. I bet they can't get insurance in Emmerdale. I bet you're right. Hello from Toronto. Big up to 01 Vet. You've got a Corvette, or you love Corvettes. Tim O'Leary won at Cheltenham last week. Look at the Irish. I only watch Emmerdale just to keep the wife happy. Yeah, let me know, Andrew, when you're coming down. Andrew, did I ever send you my WhatsApp number? I can't remember if I actually sent it or not. Here we go, we've got this Delta being pushed back. We saw it arrive at the beginning of today's stream. We're now going to see it depart. Yes, but I said sub to you. I'm confused. You should in me. Oh, you're asking if everybody will subscribe to your channel. Is that your question? You're confusing the life out of me. Exactly, Chris. And then poor old Marlon, the only chef in the village, had his stroke. Paddy's having a mental breakdown now, I think, isn't he, or something like that. Crazy old times over there in Emmerdale. Crazy times. I don't know what content you've got on there, so I can't tell everybody to subscribe because I don't know what your content is. Strange Media, I know Strange Media, I know he does similar content to me, so it's easy for me to say, oh, everybody should go and subscribe because I know they'll enjoy the content. I think the new livery makes the Aer Lingus A330 look bigger. I agree, John. Because Paddy runs a vet with no animals. Exactly, like, they live in such a rural place, but yet there's never a cow that's ill. I see more cows when I'm streaming on the North Runway than Paddy sees in Emmerdale. And he's the head poncho. Enjoy the rest of your day, Sparky Eyes. Here's a technical stat for you about the A330. Wing flex max checks are 11 foot. 11 foot of wing flex. Wowzers. Look at this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. I think it's going to move before I get it to you. Most of my fans seem to be wildlife. I hope they hit that subscribe button before they landed on my can. That Delta is now taxiing. We shall pick it up again in a moment or two. There she is, down safely. Let's pick up this Delta on taxi then. Hey, bite, Adam. It don't bite anymore. She's gone. The cows are on the North Runway. It's the other runway for the cows. Insect spotting, yes. Yeah, I'm available for all gigs. We don't just do aviation, we do wildlife as well. Remember the air cell? I don't, Michael. See update, Adam, with the Air France 777. Don't know. Let me have a quick look, see if I can find anything. We are going to be picking up the departure of that Boeing 767 heading back to Atlanta, DL177. Can't actually see anything about that 777. Sorry, I was looking at flight radar then, I completely lost the Delta. We do have one on approach, we're going to pick it up. We'll say goodbye to DL177 for a minute or so. And we'll say hello to this Airbus A320 with that newest livery, the 2019 livery of Aer Lingus. All wheels safely down. Well, let's get ready for a few departures now. Greetings from Indonesia, welcome to you, Leto. When I was last down at Dublin Airport, 777 Air France was coming in for a repaint. Yeah, I've not heard anything else about it though, Andrew. Insect spotting, you're at a perfect area for truck spotting too, yeah. There are a lot of trucks here today. No worries, Paul. Hope you are all enjoying today's live action here with Airports Live TV. I'm Adam James, we're live with you at least 6 days a week, no less than 25 lives a month here at Airports Live TV. Our home base currently being Dublin International until the end of April, the last week of April. We head back for some summer sun, bringing you the real spills of the holiday airports around Spain, on the mainland and the islands as well. If you are going to be over there while we're there, let us know. We'll try and catch your flight. You never know, you might bump into us when we are out and about as well. Don't forget, we've got that once in a lifetime Emirates A380 experience to give away. Come and join us in Dubai for 4 nights in a 5-star luxury hotel, 2 luxury excursions while we're there, connecting flights from the UK or Dublin, and business class return flights for you and a guest on board the Emirates A380 from Amsterdam to Dubai. All you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, click on the live tab and re-watch any of our lives since the 1st of March. Tell us how many flights departed or arrived on those lives during the first 15 minutes. Put your answers in the comments. and we will select randomly one winner from all of the correct entries. You can enter on as many lives as you want, as many times on each live. If you are under 18 and you're the winner, you will have to travel with your parent or guardian. The draw takes place the last Saturday of September and we travel in November. Good luck to each and every one of you. If you do want to help support us, please check out the links in the channel description. And you will find links to all of our partners, Booking.com, Holiday Supermarket, On the Beach, and there is also the link to our PayPal as well. It looks like this Delta is taxiing back to stand. She is not going to depart at that speed. Or have we had a runway change? Possibly. I think we're possibly getting a runway change here. We're getting a direction change. Jamie, we will be heading over to Oz. He's probably going to be next year, but you never know, we might fit it in this year. We've got an ATR on its approach. I believe we're getting a directional change on the runways here. That Delta looks like it's taxiing to the opposite end of the north runway, but I'm not certain of that. We'll keep an eye out. Here we go, we've got his ATR 72-600 series aircraft. This is going to make life slightly more difficult for us. For a departure shot here. We'll see what happens with this Aer Lingus. The only reason I'm saying it's going to be more difficult is because we're not going to catch it until it's behind that tower. Most of my career I worked on Boeing aircraft. When I moved to the A330, I was amazed. It tells you and defaults after every flight, so easy to maintain. Just trying to work out what is happening with this runway at the moment. Doesn't feel like there's been a change in wind direction. No. It's possibly taxiing back to stand and it has to go to the end to turn. We will keep an eye on it. It was actually scheduled for a 12:10 departure, so this is already 2 hours and 40 minutes delayed. It was a delayed arrival as well. Yeah, it was 2 hours and 40 minutes delayed on arrival. There she is, up and away, that view lane. I think that's the Delta, it is the Delta. We'll just stay with it for a couple of minutes and just see if we can work out what's happening. There is no runway change. I've yet to see a departure off the North Runway because of the noise restrictions. Yeah, we have had departures off there quite a lot. They were departing off it over the weekend, I believe. I tend not to stream. It looks like it is going for a departure now. I'm not sure what was happening there. Strange. My favourite Delta 767. Click on that location mark on the runway. Yeah, they're not on. It's gone back. It is going to depart. Not sure what happened. Delta 177, the Boomerang. Yes, should be renamed a Delta Boomerang. When I was a kid, we would walk to Dublin Airport on a Sunday afternoon. Don't live too far away. There was always cows in the field to your right, where the airfield maintenance building is now. Looks like runway change. They're still operating the same runway. I've got one on approach as well now. There's no runway change yet. I've got one on approach coming on to 28, so there she is, up and away. It looks like an ATR on approach. We'll catch it if that Delta hasn't departed in the meantime. Looks like it was a rejected takeoff. Thank you, Ken. We are going to take that Delta as the last flight of this live. I'm going to try and protect myself a little bit because I'm still not 100%. we go, we've got this Eastern ATR. And she is one of the best landings from the ATRs all day there. Yeah, Malta being pushed back in the distance. We just about caught that landing earlier on. Ding ding, round 2 for Delta. Yes, quite possibly Chris. Here we go, she's going away this time of asking. Enjoy this one, this is the last flight of the live from us here at Airports Live TV. Thank you to each and every one of you that have joined us today. Thank you to everybody who's just subscribed as well. It is greatly appreciated. Don't forget you can always catch up on any lives that you miss. And simply by going to our channel and clicking on the live tab. Hope you all have a fantastic Monday afternoon, Monday evening. We'll be back live tomorrow from Dublin International. Hopefully you can come and join us then. Don't forget, we've also got that Emirates giveaway, and please do help us out by checking out some of our partners. It is a massive help to us here at Airports Live TV. There she is, up and away, heading back to Atlanta. Well, once again, guys, we've been Airports Live TV. I've been Adam James. We'll see you all tomorrow. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay dry, and stay blessed. Big love from us. The Turkish is here. Oh no, we'll catch it before we go. This is the high sky. Is this the Turkish for next one, yeah? If it's the next one, we'll stay for one bonus flight for you. Okay, we will wait for this Turkish flight. It actually feels like rain is on its way as well, so here we go. We've got this Turkish Airlines A330 gliding into Dublin. This genuinely, definitely, 100% is the last flight of this live. It looks like it's going to rain. My chest is getting tight again as well, so I need to give it a little bit of a rest. I need my medication as well. So one final time, we've been Airports Live TV. I've been Adam James. Thank you to each and every one of you for joining us. We hope to see you tomorrow. There she is, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow. Big love from us. It's probably tomorrow. I'll post into the community at some later on today. I'm thinking it's going to be around a 2 o'clock start, but I'll let you all know later on this evening. We've been Airports Live TV. I've been Adam James. I'm going to get warm, take my meds, and be back with you tomorrow. Take care.